Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Combo, bringing you another giveaway, and also I'm going to show you how to solo that Cinderace raid that's coming up this next weekend. But before that, let me go ahead and say thank you to everyone who gave comments and discussion in the last video. I read every single comment, replied to every single one. I love the ideas that everyone has. You actually really inspired and woke me up, and that's what we're going to discuss near the end of the video, is how to actually go in and how I believe you could solo this guy. I really think you can, and even if not, I'm going to go over some locked in good strategies to go in for the next raid video and everything. But let's go ahead and discuss this. If you notice these guys right here, these three guys, I'm going to be giving away. These are shiny Charcadets, and I'm going to give one away to 3 lucky winners in this week's drawing. And this time I'm going to let this run a little bit longer to get enough people to want to come in. And as you know, I'm going to quickly show you how to get into one of these drawings to get one of these guys. And it's very simple, guys. All you got to do is 3 things. 1, be subscribed to the channel. I'm on a quest for 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate the community actually chipping in. It's been amazing. Just within a short amount of time, how many people are actually jumping in and commenting, and it's just amazing how you just open things up to the community and how they respond. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, you got to be subscribed to the channel, and also like this video and comment below. And this time, last time we talked about all the good things that are in the game that everybody likes, the music and everything, but I'd like to hear some things like improvements you would like to see. There is a lot of improvements. There's some glitches. For example, one thing I'd like to see improved is some of the battle mechanics that are in there, like the health bars are when you're battling, or all that kind of gets swapped up or kind of lag or whatever. But I'd like to see some of that actually fixed. So these are some things that I'd like to kind of see below that will qualify you for the drawing. And I put everybody in an RNG name drawer, and I pull from there, and we've had some winners from the last go. And I'm actually going to explain something here. Guys, make sure you put on notifications on the channel, because you may have actually won and don't realize it. I actually had a lot of winners and not really a lot of people respond, so please do respond so you can get it. I hate to give it away to the next person in line, but yeah, we still have some giveaways from the previous one that some people haven't picked up, so please, by all means, check that out, and I'll show you that real quick, where to go to get all that. So once again, guys, if you're underneath my channel, you can see where you have the home tab and videos, playlist, all the things right there. But underneath the community tab, if you go down here, this is where I will post the winners. And here you go. Here's last week's winners. So by all means, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you can get these things. Some people are missing out on them. And by the way, if you see your name and you're one of these guys, contact me, let me know. There's Discord, there is Twitter that I will respond to. If there's another way of responding, just let me know. And if those 2 ways don't work, the good old-fashioned email works just fine. You can see my Gmail in the accounts below. Okay guys, so this part of the video I'm going to go over the updated strategy of how to solo this guy, and also I'm going to say the 3 best mons to actually bring into this next battle. I think people are really liking the information that's given out, and a lot of these little strategies will help you farm this guy a lot. So also, if you look in the upper right hand corner, I did create a Tera raid farm guide, how to maximize items to get from these things. And the best thing about this little event with Cinderace and Charizard and all this stuff, you could sit there day 1, hit your device, reset it, day skip forward after you beat them, and just continuously farm the items that he actually has. And you could actually do, if you really wanted to, and you got a lot of Herb and Mystic, because you could do the level 3 setup raid there, and I discuss in the video actually how all that actually works, and if it's really worth getting a lot of the items. So do check that out if you'd like to get some more information on that and how to kind of grind some more items if you're looking for more candies and XP. This item is very frugal about giving away things to help let things level up. The only thing they're not frugal about is the Tera raid charge. They're very stingy with that right now, but everything else is pretty much easy to grind for. But anyway, let's talk about some of the things to go in with Cinderace. Cinderace is a very speedy boy, and I would like to fix a mistake that I made in the last video. I didn't realize this, but I just totally skipped over all the updates that they had for this game, all the nerfs and buffs that they actually made. And Libero is actually a one-time move. It only changes its type one time when it enters battle, so you really don't even have to worry about that. And I'm pretty sure it's going to use a fire attack right off the bat to actually use that. So it's going to be basically fire fighting, but it's going to be predominantly weak to fighting type, since it is a fighting type going into this whole little thing here. So that's something to kind of bring up, and thank you for the comments below of people reminding me about that. I thought it was a little weird when I was using the Protean Meowscarlet, and actually it's like, oh, it changed its move once and then it didn't change it again, and only when it enters the battle will it actually do that. But this thing was incredibly busted back in early Gen 8 during all the ranked battles and everything like that, so it's actually one of those pretty awesome ones to kind of have. But I don't know, with the nerf there, it can be a little bit different. I still think it's useful. There's still some useful things to it. But let's get right into how to actually solo this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the one mon that up here that you see that I'm going to pick that is actually, if you want to go out and solo this guy by yourself and farm up, I think this is your guy right here. Armarouge, and I will say we could change up the moves a little bit here to make it kind of work, but obviously heavy HP, heavy defense, bulk, and special attack. This thing is going to be able to take some hits from Cinderace regardless of what it's throwing at it. The only thing that really does worry me is probably Gunk Shot has 120 poison type attack, and that can cause a pretty significant amount of damage, but I don't really know. This thing has so much moves that it can go with. Like, it is just amazing the amount of moves that you could see here. A lot of, I mean, obviously fire is going to be one of the things that's brought in, but I mean, see, Gunk Shot literally has like 120 base power, 80% chance to hit. But anyway, going back to Armarouge, this is the build I'd say to use to actually take him down. I did not know it got acid spray, so thank you to the people in the comments below. Let me know some things to bring up. Like, I wouldn't have this information if it wasn't for y'all. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It's just amazing how many people actually respond. That motivates me so much to actually keep continuing making these videos here. If you can get it Tera type Psychic, that'd be great. And again, I have Scarlet version, so those of you out there who want one of these, I will set up trades for you and get you the item to actually evolve this thing into Armarouge. But there's other ways to get it. But if you can't seem to find it, know which way, how, and you really want this guy, just let me know. I mean, contact me in the comments below. I'll set up something. I don't mind trading to you and helping you out and getting that for free. It doesn't cost me anything to actually get you that, except a little bit of time. But this thing gets acid spray, so this is a TM you will have to have. It is 100% chance. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I don't know how I missed this, but this is just fantastic. Blew me away when I saw this. I was like, this is our solo guy right here. Acid spray. It will go through the shield. It will go through the shield. It is a damaging item. It will go through the shield, and it will lower the special defense by 2. So even if it debuffs its own stuff and puts up the shield like what everybody's expecting, this thing right here says, I don't care. You could do that. Go ahead. I will knock this through. This guy right here, acid spray, that's probably going to be a thing to put in a lot of items. Now, I will say this. I did bring up Iron Moth, and I was considering it too, but it also doesn't get a lot of good moves yet. I think it will be useful later on in other versions of raids that may come up, but that's just something to kind of put in mind. The acid spray does come on that one. I love it. It goes through the shield. That's the best thing about it. So it can lower that defense. I'm sorry, that special defense. And then also dropping in the this thing is special attack, so you want to invest into a special attack, and then Calm Mind's very good to go. Now, a lot of people are like, well, wait a minute, this thing will boost your attack, but it does not boost your defense. And unlike the other raids where you could do that, I mean, Charizard was hitting on your special defense, this one's going to be hitting on your physical defense. It's okay. I mean, you can still kind of recover, and we'll talk about ways that you can actually kind of recover in here. Clear Smog, I'm going to warn you about a little bit. This was one I kind of just threw in, and you can replace it with other things, but I just wanted to throw it in there, just FYI thing. It will go through the shield. It is a damaging move. It has 100% accuracy, but it will reset that target, the thing you're attacking, all the way back to 0. That's one of the good things about this. So if for some reason Cinderace decides to bulk up and constantly see that, and this could be useful at other raids, so just FYI, you could do this and it'll clear it up. It goes right through the shield. So that's another one that goes to the shield. However, if you've already acid sprayed it like 3 times, I recommend not doing it, because then you're going to clear up those debuffs as well. So it resets everything back to 0 if you're not aware of that. But so interesting move to actually have. You could totally replace that with other things, other useful things that it actually has. But the one thing I want to bring up here is stored power. A lot of people were like, well, wait a minute, I want to use psychic, I want to use psychic terrain, I want to use expanding force. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right here, stored power. And those of you who've been playing the game a little bit longer kind of know what stored power does. Stored power, for every single boost you have, will give you a plus 20 power. Now granted, at the very beginning doesn't mean nothing, but once you break plus 3 or plus 4 on this, you're gonna one-shot that thing. And I'm going to show you how in the stats a little bit later here. Just hang on just for a little bit longer. But Flash Fire will make it immune to the fire type attacks. Not going to be very useful if you don't have a fire type attack. If you want to swap something up, you can. Please don't use Armor Cannon. It'll lower your defense. It's basically a close combat on the special side, so please don't use that. There's other kind of things you can kind of put in there, but yeah, you could totally clear smog here, drop reflect in there if you really want to go solo. I mean, that's not a bad idea either way. I just don't know which way it's gonna go. So reflect is a good one to have for physical damage if you're soloing. So this is a very good solo setup here, and you can change that to light clay if you really want to go the rest of the battle up with it. It's up to you. There's a lot of which ways you could go, but I think in general this is the baseline that you're going to kind of see here. So why store power and all that, I'll talk about that here in a second. A second place mon I'm going to go ahead and say is the Ceruluge. Again, you can change up the items and everything. I haven't really played with it that much because it's kind of, I've been a little salty with it because I've seen some people bring this in the raids and they get like one-shotted. So again, I kind of bring this up a little bit to, I think this one is going to be useful in this raid. It does get flash fire. It is a ghost type, so it is immune to the attacks that it has until you Tera type into fire. Will-O-Wisp is good at burning. It will burn the Cinderace because he is fighting, so do keep that in mind. You may have to continuously reset that, but do realize that will not go through the shield if it does have the shield up, but beforehand it hits the shield, you could totally neuter it that way. Psycho Cut is a great move to have in there. High critical rate ratio. You could totally bulk up, get those attacks up in that defense, and I'm saying this thing can hold its own here. You could probably solo with it as well. Bitter Blade will hit for a good bit of damage to recover, so I'm putting this one as a good second place in there. And I know some people are going to have Violet, you're going to be like, wow dude, hey, you know, I think this is the one. Well, okay, fine, that's great. But honestly, these two going to be your two big mons to go into. I think you could actually solo with both of them, I really do. But Armor's definitely, because I'm going with absolutes here. I think this one will really work. And the Ceruluge go in built the same way defensively, but do realize it's a physical attacker, so go into that. And then very lastly, a good support mon for this is going to be Bruxish. I did play with Entity, and the Entity female has a little bit higher physical defense, so if you were going to bring this in, this is another kind of setup. Calm Mind, Store Power, Draining Kiss. A great supporter, I think. But I think Bruxish is still better. I think Chilling Water will go in there, and once again, Chilling Water will go through the shield. It will lower its physical attack, neutering the Cinderace. If you see me use my other two Grimmsnarls, I mean, literally I have one for physical, one for special. And I use those depending on what I'm going up against. And usually if you got good teammates going in, good physical attackers that are going to just be hitting on it, this thing just keeps them alive. I like this one very much, the Calm Mind, the Reflect. This thing gets a good amount of moves. I cannot, I'm definitely going to have this one built ready to roll. Psychic Terrain. Now this is my theory here, and you're going to see me bring this up. You could just replace this with Psychic Terrain as well, if you really want to. And that's probably not a bad idea if you're not psychic, sorry, Psychic Terrain. There we go. It'll boost your psychic attacks. It is possible, but if you see one of these guys on the field that can totally bring it on, I would just assume this guy's bringing it, and then you just go full out attack. If you see a Bruxish on the field, you go full out attack. This guy will keep you alive, and I guarantee if you battle with me, I'm going to keep you alive. I'm going to let you do all the damage and have all the fun. I just enjoy like denying the raid boss just any kind of chance of winning, you know, mainly just healing and keeping up the defense. I've always liked playing the tank role here, but Dazzling is a great way to prevent priority moves without having the Psychic Terrain. So the Sucker Punch that some people are worried about, this shuts that down. I covered that in my last video, and you can see that in the upper right hand corner. But also I bring in the Psychic Terrain really to boost those psychic type attacks for Ceruluge. So you could go this route as well. And it's probably not a bad idea, but it just takes up cost to move time and all this kind of stuff. And so I kind of wanted to get right to the point of how this could actually roll out. But this is not a bad setup here either. And this may be in general a good solo run right there. And again, you can always swap out. You don't have to have the psychic terrain. I'm going to show you why. Psychic terrain is more like the cherry on the top to kind of knock things out. But anyway, let me go with some stats real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you a little bit of what what I'm cooking for you here. So I have a little schematic set up here of the damage calculator from Pokemon Showdown, and I know this isn't going to be completely accurate because the HP is probably going to be 30 times higher than this, which is going to be about 9,000 HP, you could just assume. So just keep that in mind, 9,000. I threw in some moves just to see kind of what damage it could do to you. As you can see, Sucker Punch can cause some problems, but once again, if Psychic Terrain's up, there's nothing you can worry about. Just usually that high. I think he's mostly going to be hitting with some fighting type attacks and fire, but you're not going to have to worry about it if you bring the guys that I mentioned below. So one thing to kind of bring up here, so it's like, well, which move should I use versus all the other here? And I put together Expanding Force, Psychic, and Stored Power, and I'm going to show you exactly at what point one is more value than the other. So right off the bat, you can see Stored Power is not that much. It doesn't hardly even do anything. Psychic is going to do astronomical amount here, especially if you Tera type into Psychic. You can see that it's just going to increase your damage output. And so right off the bat, it could give you that good bit of spoof that you actually kind of need there. So yeah, not bad at all. But once again, I'm going for fun and I'm going for amazing here. And so if you do have a Psychic Terrain up, Expanding Force then does surpass that in a good bit. I mean, it really does. You can actually see where it's set up, and then with Psychic you can actually knock it out pretty good bit. So you can see like the good bit of damage that's going in here. But once again, we're trying to one-shot this thing. If we want to one-shot it, we bypass the shield, you bypass everything, and you go right to the grinding. So this is where I believe Stored Power comes in. If you Calm Mind up, at what point does all this make a difference? So let's take off the Psychic Terrain and just put it all together. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, if you Calm Mind up, you're going to get about plus, let's see what it is at +2. And as you can see right here, your Stored Power goes up. At this point, it's pretty much breaking Psychic, it's breaking past Expanding Force, and so even at 2 Calm Minds, which will be great because in case he does try to hit you with a special type attack like Electro Ball, will actually kind of deflect that a little bit or absorb that. So there is some value to getting a Calm Mind up, special attack, special defense, and that is going to give you a little bit more value. But if you want to one-shot this thing and get over 9,000 damage, you can just Calm Mind up all the way. You want to Calm Mind up all the way up to +6, you can totally do that. And at Stored Power is going to hit out over that, way above what you need here. So I think what you get up to at least 3 of these guys, I think 4 was the magic numbers that I had. Actually, let's put it to 3 real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see up here, Stored Power does this much damage, almost a good one-shot. Okay, so with a Psychic Terrain, you could totally add that in, and that's going to get you to that number pretty well. But we did talk about that's one reason why I'm saying Stored Power. I want to let y'all know that does build up over time if you're wanting to go through and one-shot the guy. But one thing to bring up is, and this is already at a -6. I don't know if y'all saw this. This is assuming that we've went ahead and done the acid spray 3 times, and that would get it to -6. I hope y'all noticed like the number, like, oh my god, it already did. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Here's that. So this is what it would be without the gunk shot there. So that probably makes a little bit more sense to you. If you was like, oh my god, he already had it set up, my bad, I should have already told you. But yeah, I'm gonna assume you're getting that special defense all the way down to -6, and we want to one-shot this guy. So with this, you can actually get Stored Power up, and that should get it to there. It may be on the fence, but you know, once again, and this is with Psychic Terrain, let's do it without. You know, without Psychic Terrain and all that, a +3 is going to get you to about right here. Let's say if you didn't want to run Psychic Terrain at all, I think +4 does it. Yeah, I think +4, 4 Calm Minds, 3 acid sprays, and you one-shot this guy. I think that's the way to go. If it doesn't work out, hey, just boost it up a little bit more. It's up to you. You can totally do the Psychic Terrain if you'd like. It depends on the build that you're going to go with, but mainly I'm going to stick with what I was discussing with y'all. on that side. But yeah, this is just a way to kind of one-shot it. All the others to kind of show you to keep you alive. I know this video went a little long, but once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everything you do. Hit that like button, subscribe, share the video around, and let's get those subscriber numbers all the way up to 1,000. I appreciate everything that you guys do. So once again, just a reminder on how to participate into the drawing. You got to like this video, you have to be subscribed, and comment me down below what fix would you like to see inside the game? What glitch or any kind of thing that you would like to see fixed within Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? So guys, once again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.